What's up, everybody? It's your girl Songbird, and I am so excited to welcome you guys back to another episode of Room 1002. Season 4 has already kicked off pretty hot, and today's episode is no different. Before I introduce today's guest, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to leave me any feedback about the episode in the comments. Now let's get into it. Tiara Nikole is the founder of the SHEro Way, a platform dedicated to empowering women to embrace their authenticity, build confidence, and pursue their passions. A graduate of Florida A&M University, she made the bold choice to follow her dreams to Atlanta, where she pursued a professional dance career. Alongside a skyrocketing career in the production industry, Tiara now focuses on women's empowerment through impactful events, self-care products, and wellness initiatives. If that doesn't make you want to stay tuned, I don't know what will. Let's get into it, y'all. What's up, everybody? Listen, do I have to say much else after an intro like that? I mean, come on. You guys, I am so excited to be back giving another episode. Room 1002 really is hitting the ground running in 2025. That last episode that we just did, I mean, talk about an amazing guest. But today's guest is no different. So, y'all, I am just so honored to have the one and only Miss SHEro herself, Tiara Nikole, in the room with me. Listen, y'all saw she tried to be all humble. Yeah, honey. Yeah. The Miss SHEro herself is what I said.
What's up?
I am so excited to have you in the building. It's funny. Every time I sit down with an artist, I have to go back and think, like, how did I meet this person?
Mm-hmm.
How do I know this person? So it's really interesting to have made a connection through a powerhouse like Jaslyn.
Yes.
You know, if y'all haven't watched either of our episodes on her podcast, you kind of slipping. That's just like a little quick shameless plug. Y'all need to go tune in to Moves You Heard podcast. You heard? You heard.
Period.
You see how I did that?
Period.
She like that. She like that. It's giving creative. No, but seriously, I'm really excited to just get to know a little bit more about you in general. I know what you do, but I want to know who you are. And that's kind of the purpose of Room 1002. You know, like, obviously I'm exposing people who may not know who you are to your talent or your craft or your business or your brand, but also I think it's important for people to know the person behind it, especially because we're living in a social media age where people are still faking the funk on the internet.
Girl.
So it's like, let's be real, let's be authentic.
Please.
So for the next however long we talk, because y'all know I'll talk all day long. For the next however long we talk, feel free to be as open and vulnerable as possible. So I'm gonna start you off with a question that I ask everybody that I bring on the show.
Okay.
And even though we already did a bio, this is like your opportunity. Take the accolades and all that. And I went to this school and I did that. Take all that out and answer the question. Who is Tiara Nikole?
To my core, who I am funny. I feel like I'm a healer. I am a person of just wanting to just have fun, be free, live in peace.
Praise God.
And yeah, I feel like I'm jack of all trades. Like, I could be, okay, girl, I'm trying to be in the house, or we can go outside, or, you know what I'm saying? But genuinely, I feel like I'm a healer. I just want to continue to just spread love and peace in the world, but still be myself. Like, so if I want to turn up and dance and work just a little bit, okay, I'm gonna get down with it. But other than that, like, I'm just true to who I am and just
Yeah. I really love that. I don't twerk. That's probably because I don't know how.
Me neither. It really don't shake that much, but I still work.
Oh, but you still do it. So it just a little movement. Left cheek, right
Little
cheek.
booties matter. Yeah.
She said little booties matter. If you have a little booty, comment about that little booty. I'm kidding. Do not be in my comments talking about your little butt, please. They're gonna ban the episode. Seriously though, so I really like all of the things that you described about yourself, because that's the vibe I got from you when I met you. What was that? That was the what was that event that we met at? It was like the women's
event.
Yeah. I don't remember the name of it, and that tell y'all how your brain, it just go out.
Right.
But I remember when I first met you, I was walking past your booth, you were setting up, and I was doing my little social media thing, trying to get everybody like, okay, smile, girl, do your thing. Y'all know I'm good for a recap video, right? So I come past her booth, and she just has all this energy, the biggest smile on her face. I mean, her stuff is laid out all nice and neat. I'm like, I need to find out what this chick do. Like, who is she? She just had a really good aura, and I think that that's really important in general. Like, before you speak, people have already determined how they feel about you, just from the way you walk in the room or the way you carry yourself. So if I haven't already told you that, I think you carry yourself very well.
Thank you so
very,
much.
very, very well.
Thank you so much. I hear that often. I be like, really? Because sometimes I be like, girl, I be do it that day. And I'm like, y'all still do that?
Absolutely. That means you walking in peace.
Yeah.
Walking in peace. And so tell us a little bit about the foundation of that. Like, walk us kind of through maybe your upbringing or your childhood, like anything that might play a role in you being this healer, peaceful, loving, community-oriented person.
Okay. That's a fully loaded question, baby.
Wasn't it?
But I feel like I grew up already knowing that I wanted to be, I won't even say a celebrity because I didn't want to be a celebrity, but I just felt like, oh, I'm already that girl. Like,
yeah.
I was like, Mama, I'm going to grow up and I'm going to have a Bentley. I'm going to do this. And she was like, girl, where are you getting these things from? I always was dancing, cheering. I started cheering and dancing at the age of 6. So I was always a social butterfly. I loved like connecting with people. And what's crazy is I didn't start returning back to dance until I moved to Atlanta in 2015 because I had more friends cheering. I was like, I don't know if the girls really care for me that much in dance class. So I'm just going to stick with cheering, even though I love both. But I was like, you got to choose both. I can't keep running back and forth with you.
One or the other.
You got to choose, baby girl. So it was like my mom and dad were married for 13 years. Now, the change of everything was once they had a divorce and once something traumatic happened with my dad raping my mom and going through his own episode of just losing himself. Because I feel like my dad is one of those people who everything that he did was for his family. So that everything was falling apart. I feel like he was falling apart.
Yeah.
So it was like, I feel like that day changed everything. Because it was like, I remember walking from school and, I remember actually on the bus and I'm calling my mom, like, girl, pick me up from the stop. Like, I don't want to walk down the street. And she like, no, just walk. And I'm like, it is your off day, Miss B. I'm like, you usually always come get me. But the gag was that I'm walking down the street. My grandmother and my mom are in a car and something looks off. So I'm just like, okay, what's wrong? But then I found out that like, she was like, well, the reason I didn't come get you was because your dad said if I told you what was happening or gave you any inkling, he was going to kill the both of us. So I was like, okay. So that was just a whole traumatic thing. And then even that day, once everything, like the cops came and took him in because he was trying to kill himself in our garage that we had. He was just running the car, just trying to like do whatever he was trying to do. And I still had to go in the house and go in the room where everything happened because that's where we kept the computer and I still had work to do. So just being in that space just made me be like, okay, like, I don't know what this is, but I'm not about it. And so I feel like that's what made me go into overdrive of like my work ethic and just being a workaholic. But that's what had me focused that I'm like, I don't ever want to deal with this. Not that it was my mom's fault or anything, but I just felt like, nah, like I'm above all of this and I'm just make sure I do everything I'm supposed to do so that I could just keep moving forward because this ain't it.
Yeah. And it's interesting how our childhood experiences play such major roles. And I mean, it could be a big thing, it could be a small thing, but I think it's interesting to see you so well put together in this age, right? Because a lot of us go through trauma and then we turn into trauma, like for other people. We start wreaking havoc in other people's lives and, without ever really dealing with those things. So I know you talked about just being like in overdrive with work ethic and things like that, but do you feel like you spent real time, and I'm only asking this because of what you do now and how you empower other women, do you feel like you spent real time healing and addressing? Or do you feel like for a while it was like, out of sight, out of mind, and then one day it kind of came full circle and it forced you to address it?
So it's happened in different occasions
of
where like feeling like full from any of this that I'm doing. Like it was fun at first, like oh, he fine, let me just see. And it was like after, it was just like, oh, okay. I didn't really get too much from it. So it was like I remember writing my dad that day, like, I feel like I'm doing a lot of these things because the first man that ever was in my life lied to me, because prior to him doing that, he was like, oh, I'm gonna leave your mom alone. So to me, it just felt like a lie. Oh my God, tears. So it just felt like a lie. So it's just like, oh, any man that comes into my life, they're gonna do the same thing. So like, why give a about them? Right. So I'm gonna just do me and do my thing. And so it was like after I finally got to a point where I was like, I'm tired of kind of just being a little promiscuous girl. I'm kind of sick of it. So I kind of wrote him like, Dad, I'm gonna stop like searching for you and these men and searching for to be loved and to be heard and to be seen, and just try to really love on myself. Yes. So that was the first, like, okay. And I remember him writing me back. He's like, baby girl, I know you are far beyond your years from what you just sent me. So I just was like, I didn't know what it was until after the fact. And then again, it didn't come back around until I want to say 2020 was when the beginning of the year before the pandemic even started. It was like I was just finding myself in my car just crying, like just like uncontrollably before I would go into the gym or before I would go into a rehearsal for dance. And I just was just feeling like I'm trying to hold it all together. I have to keep this perfect image of just everything's fine when everything is not. And it just was like, that's when I feel like 2020, I started doing the real healing. Because again, going all the way back when everything first happened with my mom and dad, like she tried to take me to therapy, and I was like, girl, I don't need this.
Black people be like, I'm not going to no therapy, girl.
Yeah, thank you. I was like, child, I don't need this. Like, I'm good. I know what I'm doing, Miss Girl. So I know that lady was looking at me like, oh,
right. You sound like a typical patient, actually.
Yeah, yeah. So I know she was looking at me crazy, but it was like, yeah, I feel like 2020 was like the head of when I really started figuring out things and how my brand came, alive. So yeah, it's been a journey.
I know that's right. It's so beautiful to hear that backstory. Like, I mean, obviously it's not beautiful what you experience, but it is beautiful how we can take things. And I really hope that there's somebody watching who you kind of needed to hear that you can take some of the worst stuff that's ever happened to you and make it. Because now we know why she does it. So let's hear about it. Like, walk us through it. How did this idea even come about? How did you even come up with the name? I think the name in itself is genius. So, whichever one you want to answer first. But
okay, so the name, I felt like, okay, we all put on like different masks and hats when we walk in different places. Like we have to talk a certain way and be a certain way. And I'm just like, bro, I feel like showing up authentically as yourself is gold. Like, just do that and things will happen. Because I had been here in the dance scene and doing everything. Oh, change my hair like this, do that. And I just was like, but once I started being fully me, that's when stuff started taking off. So I was like, okay, a SHEro. Like, people be calling me a hero, but SHEro. And then SHEro could be an almighty woman that can have everything she wants in life, being her authentic self. So it was just like, boom, okay, that's what we gonna do. But then it was like, shout out to my friend Kiana Clark. She had what was the program called? I'll figure it out. But she had a program of like when you want to start your business, but you don't kind of know what you want to do.
Right.
So at first it started off as an idea of me just wanting to do an app. I just wanted to have a positive app where you get like affirmations, and then like if you hadn't done your self-care, just like self-maintenance, you'll have like ways to look that up. But I guess more so going through that, I was like, let's kind of shift. I feel like I want to do something now. So then affirmations were really big for me in 2020, just telling myself who I am, just looking myself in the mirror and really believing what I was saying. So I was like, okay, got COVID, and then that week I just was like, I'm going to do an affirmation book. Yeah, I'm going to just figure it out. I'm going to work it out. And I'm going to share this with women to know, like, that we can do anything that we want to do. Like, no matter what the past may look like, you can still choose to be who you want to be today. And so I was just like, because most people come up to me and be like, oh my God, you never have a bad day. You never do. I was like, oh, girl.
Right. If only you knew.
If only you knew. Like, baby, I cry a lot. Okay, no. Like, we all have the same light that God has given us. So, no. So that's kind of really how it came about. I just really supposed to start it off as an app. Because it really just started off YouTube as well. I was like, okay, I'm going to do YouTube. I'm going to call my people that SHEro. And then it just grew, honestly. Yeah. So I just been walking with it and letting it flow and do its thing. No rush.
That is so cool, too. Like, so I didn't even know that, y'all. Like, because I know about the actual workbook and everything. Like I met her when she got all this merch and all this stuff, you know. So it's really cool to hear your humble beginning. I'm curious though, like, so after you decided, okay, this is what I'm going to do, how did you actually execute that though? Like, did you write the book and then take it to a publisher? Did you self-publish? Like, how did you come up with your logo even? Like what were some of the steps that it took to really solidify the brand? You know what I mean?
Okay. I feel like I kind of started with my personal brand, like my personal logo. I felt like I did like a T and then I had like a cape, like a crown and like a cape.
Oh, that's cute.
So I was like, yeah, I think I want to do that. Shout out to Sketch for doing my logo. He's probably on tour somewhere. But I was like messaging him back and forth. So then as far as me deciding what it would be, I did my book on my own. Like I kind of just came up, okay, like what is this going to be? Okay, I want it to be a workbook of maybe like 15 affirmations, nothing too much to make people be like, oh my gosh. And then I also want to put some interactive videos in it because it first started digitally. Because we were in, you know, pandemic, people with their hands and all of that. So it started digitally where you can just download it. So you'll have the affirmation and you'll also have me talking you through what it means and what it can mean for you. And then, but yeah, I just literally wrote it down, did my book on Canva. Y'all can do y'all book on Canva. Okay?
Miss Canva does everything.
Does everything. She's that girl, if you did not know. So that little $12.99 a month, she's worth it. Okay. Worth it.
That pro package is the truth.
It is. It's so good. But I made my book through Canva. And I just went to a print shop. Jeez, why can't I remember where I went? It was right off. Oh my God, by Centennial. I can't remember where I printed it, but I just went there and was like, hey, this is what I want to print. And then I remember the guy was like, you did this all by yourself? I was like, yeah, I did. He was like, wow, this is so great. Let us know if you need anything else. I was like, I need this many copies. I need this many cards. I made that on Canva as well. Or the guy actually made it for me back there. He was like, well, what are you thinking? I was thinking this. I showed him something from Canva. So he was like kind of like a mood board or what I want my card to look like. So he was like, you came prepared. I was like, yeah. This is what I want to do.
Got to.
This is what I want to do. So it just kind of took preparation. I was like, okay, like what's next? So first it started as a digital book. And then somebody was like, I really would like if you had it. Like a lot of people was like, well, I really like to write. I like to write out. I'm like, dang, me too. But how it started was in the pandemic.
Right.
So 2021.
So you assume people wouldn't want a physical book.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, this could be on your iPad, on your phone. But then when people started asking, like, okay, I would like a physical copy. I'm like, okay, let's go get it printed. And then there was an event that all dancers who are entrepreneurs, they were like, hey, we want some brands to come out. So I was like, oh, this is perfect timing for me to launch the physical book, for me to launch, okay, I think I want to do mugs because I love drinking my tea and my coffee. Then I was like, okay, I think I want pens. Let's put a pen with it. And then I love putting sticky notes on my mirror to remember, you know, my affirmations or anything I want to just remember and retain and remind myself daily. So I'm like, oh, we gonna add that as well. So it just kind of happened like naturally. I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing. Okay, bad, boom, that's it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna throw it. Because if I think about it too much, then I'm not gonna do it.
Correct. And that's what I was about to say. The longer you ponder, it's like you'll talk yourself out of it. I do that just with outfits.
Yeah.
Like
same.
The longer I stare at it, the uglier it feels. Like why it was so cute when I first put it on.
And it's still
now
cute.
I'm like, I look ugly. Literally, like I'll talk myself out of a hairstyle, an outfit, anything, just solely because I don't look as cute as I personally want to look. Right. But so I really love that your brand actually has your personal touch on it. Like these are things that I know resonate with me. So I assume that, especially because I'm sure you vetted in your mind like who your audience is. These are things that will resonate with them. You mentioned dance, and I know that we talked a little bit about that in your bio. How did that play a role in SHEro or just in your own personal development in general? Like not to steer too far off from talking about SHEro, but I know that dance is a big part of your life. And so how did it play a role in either building up that confidence or like you said, I mean, you went to an event for dancers and was able to launch your book. So
dance is a huge part of that, honestly. Like I feel like if it wasn't for dance, I won't even say I wouldn't have gotten here because I always wanted to give back to women or like little girls or just whatever. But dance was a big part. It was like just the journey of getting here and finding who I was in the space of that. Because I moved here right after I graduated from school. Shout out to FAMU, okay?
Shout out to all the HBCUs.
Shout out to all the HBCUs.
She's like, actually, no, I said what I said.
I was playing. But anywho, so once I moved here and I was like, okay, I'm going to go after dance because I went to school to be an occupational therapist and I was supposed to go to grad school. But something about that year, I remember like saying, I'm going to go to a convention and see if like, I remember one of my mentors, like Kyle, one of my coaches, he was like, you know, if you go to this space in Atlanta and you feel like you can do this all day, every day, then that's where you're supposed to be moving forward.
Oh, I love that.
It was so profound and so good. And I remember him saying that. I was like, okay. He's like, but if you go and you feel like, that was cute, but I don't want to do this, then that's not where you're supposed to be. Because I had a game to dance at that particular weekend that I was choosing to go to this event. He was like, I'm mad that you missing this game, but I feel like you need to go do this for yourself, like to figure out where after school, where is Tiara going to be. So once I went to that convention, which it was all the dances in the scene, it was just like, oh my God, like all the choreographers from LA. I was like, this is so good. My spirit just felt like full, like. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go dance. So then when I moved here and got like around everything and going to class and doing all the things, but then feeling when I don't get called out, I'm feeling a little left out.
Yeah.
People saying, okay, maybe you should lose 15 more pounds. And you like,
I already lost 15 more pounds.
That part, I already lost 15. You want me to lose more? I'm already hungry.
Right.
So what do you mean? So it was just like different things that just kept happening. It was just like, made you feel like you weren't good enough, or just going to audition and just looking you up and down, or just the cattiness of it all. So it just was like, okay, I need to find, we need to work it out, because I feel like we're getting lost in the sauce, trying to be all these things that people are asking you to be and do when you are enough. Like, when did we stop thinking we were enough? And even I remember a friend, I was like, I think I'll just move to LA. And he was like, before you come out there, I need you to know who you are. Like,
because they'll eat you up out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm grateful that I did it here, because I don't know what would happen. I'm grateful I did it here, because I just went through a phase. I'm like, I just don't do this no more. I'm working myself to the ground, barely eating. I get off my job. I go do this from like 6 to 12 at night, and I do it all over again. I leave my house at 7 o'clock and I don't come home till midnight, and I'm doing it every single day. Like, what the freak? Like, I just don't feel like God promised me this type of craziness. So yeah, that had a huge part, and really that's what started the crying in the car, because I would cry in the car before I would go into rehearsals and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, like, we have to figure out how it will come back to me. And I remember my life coach, shout out to Patrice, she was like, I feel like you are putting band-aids on all the things that you just need to sit with. I feel like you ain't sat long enough to figure out nothing. Yeah, you taking a bath, and yeah, you taking care of yourself, but like, those are band-aids. You're not really getting down to the nitty-gritty of like, why are you doing what you're doing to begin with? So that was honestly the foundation. So again, dance has been a saving grace, even still, but even in the midst of the chaos, it still brought me joy. Like, no matter what I had going on through the day, the dancing, be free and sweat it and dance it all out, like, it just felt good.
Yeah. You know, you actually just made a really profound point about self-care being so much more than what the average person would just call maintenance. And I heard somebody say that we look at self-care like, oh, I got my hair done, I got my nails done, I took a bubble bath. Babe, you should always be getting your hair done. You should always be, well, I can't speak because y'all see I got on these press-ons. Y'all see your girl talking about full of press-ons. And I just got my first pedicure in like, I'm embarrassed to tell y'all when the last one was I got a pedicure before this one that I just got like last weekend. But the point is, those are maintenance. Like, that is a part of your upkeep as a woman. It's not self-care to take a bubble bath. And let me not downplay what you consider to be self-care, but I do want you to consider that you could go a lot deeper to actually take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, really think about what it, like, the term itself really means, and stop associating it with things that, I mean, you would kind of do anyway. Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm saying? Because like what you said about the Band-Aid thing, it's like, yeah, like, we're like, oh, I had a bad day, so I had a glass of wine. That's not self-care. Like, oh, I had a bad day, so I went out to eat. That's not self-care. Like, how is that taking care of the thing that made you feel like you had a bad day? Right. How is that taking care of you in general? So I love that you just said that. And I kind of want you to share a little bit about some of the things that we can find in our SHEro booklet, you know, or whatever. I know you brought us some goodies. Y'all, she came prepared. She brought us stuff with her. Like, baby, she want to show y'all visually what it looked like, okay? Period.
Wait, is this the part where you want me to show the book, or you just want me to just share what?
Well, you can do either or. It's up to you, Miss Mama.
Either.
How you want to do it? Do you want to talk about it first and then show it, or?
Sure. I'll just talk about it. Okay. I'll talk about it and then I'll show you guys. But pretty much, in the SHEro Way, in the booklet, it is for you to kind of journal throughout. So really, that's a real big part of self-care for me. Of journaling, just seeing like, how am I feeling today?
Mm-hmm.
Like, or just knowing who you are. Because I used to start like, people were like, oh, how you doing? Oh, girl, I went to work. I did this. And it was like, pump your brakes, babe. That's not
how you're doing.
You
still didn't answer my question.
You're talking about what you're doing out there, but how are you doing? And so I remember when someone asking me that, I just was like, oh, I need to work on that a little bit more. So it's truly about you journaling about how you're feeling, or almost you can even use it as like a worry journal. Like before you go to bed, you got so many worries on yourself, like you all worrying about all these things and just keeping you from going to sleep. That's your moment to journal. I'm not going to share the affirmations in it.
So you can buy it so you can.
Right.
Exactly.
So you can get into it. But just simply if saying an affirmation of I am enough, you can write why you are enough and why just because you waking up that morning is enough. And, just explain about you loving yourself or whatever you want to do in that particular one. But it's just about you just expressing yourself. Because a lot of us don't get to express ourselves based on sometimes our childhood. We don't talk when the adults talking, or just small little nuances, or you just didn't feel heard or seen. So this is your place for you to feel seen and heard in your own book.
Okay.
In your own book. And then I'll also share the SHEro Way mug. So it's just pretty much like a superhero. So I have my logo is like a cartoon character of just, because I also soon we'll be doing kids books. But it'll just show like just your cape and just you being your own superhero and just the logo of SHEro. And then you have a pen that you can write all your affirmations and wishes with. And you have a sticky note where you can write any little reminder or however you like to use your sticky notes. It's up to you, but whatever you like to do, girl.
Listen, I already knew it was dope, right? I already knew that because I saw it with my own two eyes. But hearing the whole culmination of how this came together, it's just like, that's just really like dope. I told my guests, like, for me, I just want to highlight women doing really boss dope things. And this particular woman is actually using her power to empower you. A lot of us, let me say this the right way. Social media has us feeling like we're in competition, ladies, and we're really not. Mm-mm. And let me not say that we're not in competition, because we live in a capitalistic society where, is my business better than yours? Is it more profitable than yours? Do I look better than you so I get the party, you don't? But the gag is we don't actually have to operate that way. And I think that it's very important to be able to say, like, I know who I am. And so whether anyone else likes it, and this is not, I'm not championing toxic behavior, ladies. We're not talking about toxic stuff. I'm literally talking about who you are to the core, the woman that you are, knowing who you are, and that still being valid, even if nobody else thinks so, is very, very, very important. So I really want to encourage y'all, if you haven't already gone to search her up after this, I really don't even know, like, you're still watching and you haven't at least Googled her at this point. That's crazy. But you definitely want to check it out. And fellas who are watching, if you know a woman who needs a little bit of uplift, I would highly suggest that you get her involved with SHEro. And so, first of all, you already bust my bubble saying that you about to make kids book, because I was about to ask you, like, we need some books for, like, I would say, like, middle school. Middle school is where it starts.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's when I started.
Okay.
Yeah, I said I want to figure out a way how to get to the schools. Like, so I love that you told me that started there with middle school, because I was like, maybe I need to go to the high schools. So I'll start there and figure out how I can intertwine myself with making a way to speak to them, because it's like, I just need y'all to know y'all already queens, baby. That like, you do not have to do X, Y, and Z for nothing. Like, no.
And you don't have to be like her for you to be valid. Be your own person. Like, it's totally okay to be the weird girl, the emo girl, the music girl, the nerd girl, the tech girl. the cheerleader, whoever you are,
there is space for you. In this
yeah.
world, there is space for you. So yeah, maybe she's the popular girl, but so are you. They just haven't tapped into it yet.
Come on.
They ain't tapped into you yet. So stay true to you. Like, why would you want to be the same as everybody else? Be you.
Yeah.
Be you. That's it.
I think that's gonna be really dope. And I'm coming from a perspective of I work with the youth ministry at my church. Nice. So it's grades 6 through 12. So we're looking at some 6th graders are 11 years old, but most of them are 12 and going up to 18 years old. And so that's why I said I think it would be powerful to start in middle school, because we, when these kids come to those altar calls, or when they share with us like their prayer points or things that they need, like these middle schoolers are going through it, and it blows my mind. But I do remember being a middle schooler going through it.
Yeah,
I actually do remember that, and and it's funny. Like, I look back now, I'm like, people probably used to be so sick of my little depressed tail. Like, girl, it's always something wrong with you. My goodness, every day you say, every day, mama smile. But for a while, I didn't feel like I had anything to smile about, And I was that kid, like, fully comparing myself to other people, feeling like, okay, well, I'm not skinny, I'm not, whatever. And those are very big confidence depressors, I guess would be the better word. Because I like, there's confidence booster. I'm like, what's the opposite of a booster? But those were really like things that I was so overly consumed with. Like, am I good, still worthy if I'm the chubby kid? Or whatever. And so something like that, all I'm saying is, looking back at who I was at 12, 13, something like that probably would have really changed the game for me. And changed my mind about, like, and I wouldn't have gone into high school like, okay, I need to look a certain way, I need to act a certain way, I need to join certain spurs, I need to talk to certain people, whatever. Like, I would have been fine being the smart girl who talked too much, and I got a relationship with my moms.
Wow, no, that makes so much sense, because even with me, like, I did not like the color of my skin for so long, because I used to be like getting told you're cute for a dark skin girl, and I'm like, what does that even mean? Right. Or I ain't gonna lie, I was in the light skinned boys at the time, and so they'll be like, yeah. Not that matured. Not that I don't like all men. All the men are beautiful.
Can't take that.
But all the men are beautiful. But at that time, I was specifically into the light skin, the light brides. They was giving, but it was like they weren't into me. They wanted the mixed girl or whatever, and so with the long curly hair, and so then it was just like, well, what's wrong with my hair? What's wrong with how I look? Or them cracking on how dark I was. So I just felt like, okay, maybe this is not what beautiful is. Maybe this is what it was like. Or just starting like puberty young, starting my period young, and then having boobs like a C cup in the 5th grade.
Girl, come on.
And I'm just like,
speak my language now.
And now I feel like all the boys only like me because I got boobs. Yep. And so now I just want to wear big old graphic t-shirts. I'm just like, what are you wearing? I'm like, I don't want them to see this. Like, and it's like, why are you hiding who you are? But then middle school, I feel like, oh, let me just show a little bit of cleavage. Maybe they'll like me then. So I can totally agree and resonate that you are right. You are on to something, and I'm gonna work on that.
Hey, honestly, I really feel like we need to call that the Holy Spirit, because it really was not me. I feel like that was just dropped into me and was like downloaded into me. But speaking of the Holy Spirit, I know that we've been talking a lot about your faith walk. I love how the girls are just coming to God in this season, baby. The Lord is calling his children home. Listen, and this is just a real quick little altar call for y'all. If the Lord is calling you back, go back. There is a reason why he is pulling on you. There is a reason why he's tugging on you to make some changes, flip it up, change it up, give it back to God. A lot of us know that we done been backslidden for a long time. So if he is calling you home, come home. Come home. And there are people like she and I who will love you through that entire walk. Okay, back to it. I said, say that. The Lord put that on my heart too. So I know that you're on this faith journey. I've been seeing you posting about it, like actively reading the Word of God and things like that. So, I mean, I know that SHEro is kind of already established, but how does that play a role in Tiara Nikole's development? You know what I mean?
Ooh, God, me and you, we locked in so tight. I love you so much. Ooh, I love you so much. We have been on a journey where, again, like I told you, even from college, I was just kind of going through a rough time, and so then I would be revisiting God, and then I'll leave again, and I'll come back. I feel like I've been kind of, I can do this by myself type of thing, like, or being mad at him or feeling like God's not doing the thing when he's always been doing it. So I just feel like what's been helping me and reassuring me is that, you know, the promise that God gave us of that, like, you know, I was not meant to be a slave, and I slaved my own self with how much I work and how much I felt like if I didn't do all of these things, then I wouldn't be successful when God already made me successful when I was in the womb. He already promised me that. So for you to come out here and this worldly stuff get you off track. So it's really been helping me refocus. Like, even, just to share, to be honest, like, even coming here, and is that in Exodus when Moses is talking to God, and he is like, God is like, okay, I want you to go tell this to the Pharaoh so we can save our people. And he like, well, my brother, like, the way I can speak, it's not gonna be too good. And I remember being like nervous about coming here about speaking, and then just reading that scripture really helped me this week. To know that, like, okay, like, no, everything that you're gonna say, trust yourself and know that even if you're worried about anything, he is always speaking through you. So it helps me on a daily just to remember, like, I'm never alone, because it was moments where I used to feel alone and would just be doing it. Okay, doing stuff for no reason because you felt alone, when we're never alone, or thinking like I have to show up in God's house a certain way because of, no offense, of how some godly sanctified people would show up back in the past.
It's that legalism. That legalism in the church. How
they would show up, so it would, you know, make you feel like, well, I don't know if I really want to be saved or anything if y'all look mean, if y'all are mean, or you look boring,
judgmental,
and you know, all these things. So it just made me be like, no, I want to be a disciple of Jesus and show exactly what this looks like. So yeah, you're looking at me today, but I definitely walked in not knowing, lost, trying to find love in all the wrong places and not realizing who I was. So just keeping God first, and honestly reading the word for myself, because also we've been putting our trust in pastors, which we love our pastors, and they are human too, which we have to remember. But of course, when scandal and things happen, it's like, oh my God, and it's like, well, baby, if you just keep your mind and keep it on the book, like, you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it just really has just been a saving grace and a blessing, because last year, 2024, tore me up, and it was like, okay, God, you said if anything, you gonna tell me that you are the reason.
Yeah.
Because I keep saying, oh, me, and it has always been you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it really has truly helped.
You said something that, like, made me think about something that we tell the kids all the time. Like, you can't survive on your mom and daddy's faith forever. Like, and a lot of us would be like, oh, I had a praying grandmother. Yeah, but grandma's faith ain't going. You need to know him for yourself. And when I think about just having a relationship with the Lord, I always try to, let me say this in the right way so that it's not like blasphemy. I always try to humanize my experience with the Lord. I.e., if I was in a relationship with someone, would I cheat on them? Would I lie to them? Would I go missing for several days and not talk to them? Would I only call them when I want something? Would I blame them for the things that are going wrong in my own life based on decisions that I made? And those are the things that always bring me back to, don't you put that mouth and speak bad about God. Like, because I wouldn't do that in the flesh. I wouldn't go to my boyfriend and say, I'm going to cheat on you today. There's another man who wants my attention. There's so many other things that want my attention. So you can kick rocks and I'm going to go do me. I wouldn't go missing on him for a couple of days. Like, I just don't feel like dealing with him today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like all those things are what really helped me to just stay, like, focused. Like, and I mean, obviously there's a scripture that tells us to focus on what is noble and just and true and pure and praiseworthy. Like, there are so many things distracting us that are none of those things. Negativity, and that's not me ever saying, I'm never going to discourage you from being up to date on what is happening in your government or in your area. You do need to know those things. However, your focus should still be on what is noble and just and true and pure and praiseworthy and excellent. And all of those things come from God. And so there's always a silver lining. And I think that that's so beautiful how you're just like, open and honest about, man, I have chucked him the deuces a couple of times. I did it. I think we all do it. And I think one of the reasons why I truly take it as an honor to do what I do at my church is because we're with these kids before they get really into the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so to plant the seeds and be like, look, your faith needs to be strong before you go to this college where they're going to, number one, try to make everything about being black. And I'm not saying we can't be proud of being black. Okay? I'm not. Because the people will try to shame me in the comments. Oh, you don't like black people. You don't care about black people. But before I'm black, it's so many other things I can say I am.
Yeah.
And life is bigger than your skin color. It is.
Yeah, it is.
And so I know, especially going to HBCU, I struggled with that. Because I was very like Christian before I went, and then I get there and it's all about like black power, man power, you know what I'm saying? And we hate the whites and all these many things. And I came out with just like this confusion, and I started doing all this other stuff and practicing all these other crafts, including witchcraft and all these other things. And so I can just say honestly and boldly, like, living for God is the best thing that you can do. Mm-hmm. And when we talk about bringing it all full circle with the SHEro way and loving yourself and all this and all that, if you do not know the love of God, you cannot love yourself. I don't care what they tell you. I don't care what you told yourself. If you do not know the love of God, you cannot love yourself, because that is the ultimate form of love. Mm-hmm. It just is. And it's a journey. One of the things that I went through in 2024 was actually accepting that I'm loved by God. Mm-hmm. You know how like we always say, God loves me.
Yeah.
But do you actually believe that God loves you? Like the way that you would say, my husband loves me. Yeah. My boyfriend loves me, and you know that. Yeah. You don't got to question, you don't got to doubt it. There's nothing anybody can say or do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could try to blaspheme their character, and you'll be like, hey, my man didn't do that. Right. Yes. But do you really know that God loves you? And so when I finally accepted that, girl, my whole mindset about my whole life changed. Mm-hmm. I started to become comfortable in my own skin, in my own company. Because I was in a relationship, and I tried to make everything about being in my relationship. Okay. And I was like really trying to learn how to balance like being okay in my own space, my own company, moving into my own place, not having to have fear, going back to what you said, not being alone. So all of that stuff, I really feel like it plays a really major part in what we call this self-care and self-worth and all these things. Like, you need to know what the word says about who you are. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
He made you first, and you was everything from the beginning. Literally. But it's okay, and it's amazing that you're doing that with the kids in ministry. I love that so much, because it's like, even if they do fall off or go astray, they will always remember, like,
the seeds that were sown.
Yeah, they will remember that. Yeah, absolutely.
You know something I looked up for the first time the other day? What a mustard seed becomes.
What does it become?
One of the biggest trees you've ever seen in your life. Really? And it's crazy because a mustard seed is like,
it's really.
I mean, as tiny as a chia seed, I feel like.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit bigger than a chia seed, but it's as tiny as, I mean, but when I looked up, like, what is it? Because I never thought about it. I'm like, okay, it's a mustard seed. Does it become like, and this sounds so dumb, but I'm like, do it become like mustard? Like, right, like what is like it? Where mustard comes from? Yeah. No, somebody's going to make that a clip and be like, this girl is a dunce. But, I had to just look it up for myself. I'm like, we always talk about faith inside of a mustard seed. I'm like, well, what does it become? Why is it significant that it starts off that size? Because it blooms into something bigger than you could have ever imagined. All it takes is a little bit to become something so great and grand. So I think that it's crazy to know that even before you decided, like, Lord, I really need to get back right with you, He gave you this vision. He made it plain. You are walking in it. And now you understand what it takes to have that intimacy with Him and just work on yourself. And it'll continue to help you pour into all these other women.
Yes.
What a testimony.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. It's been so, thank God for Jesus. I just been really just grateful, just being in this space and learning it for myself. And then really, the gag is the Bible, the stories. You can see yourself in all of these.
Everyone.
And everybody. So it just be like, what? I was missing out. Like, wow. But it was the thou and the they. And baby, girl, I'm reading King James? At first I was, but then I was like, let me now that I know they got different versions, okay, I didn't know, okay guys, don't judge me.
My girl was reading King James, but Shakespearean Bible.
Yeah, and I was like, baby, I don't understand what's happening here. But once I like found different, they had different translations, different versions, and they have other books to help you.
Study Bibles
and all of that. So I was like, okay, this is good. Like, now I understand what's going on because I really feel like I need to know this for myself. And I want to be closer to him because people are like, oh, I heard God say. I'm like, did you?
Right. Was it really him?
Because have you been talking to him? So I was just like, instead of people, you know, fake profiting over my life, let me just get with him.
Correct.
Let me get with him first.
Correct.
So I know what I'm supposed to do. What do you want from me? I know I always be like, I'm going to get this, that. And I'm like, God, what do you want from me? What do you want me to say today? What do you want me to share with your people? Because I want to continuously share the love and the joy and spread it. Like, because I know that's what you want. So I feel like this calling that I've done it has to be for me.
Yes.
It's only from you. It has to be. I didn't just pop up with it.
This is just beautiful. Like, I'm honored to tell your story and to just share you with all the people that I know for a fact are being impacted just by watching this episode. So before we conclude, I do want to know, you know, if I was a young lady out there, you know, I'm kind of interested in the SHEro Way now that I've heard about it or whatever. Like, where can I find you? Do you do shops, pop-up shops? You know, are you brick and mortar? How can I stay connected with you?
So you can stay connected with me on social media. So I have the SHEro Way on Instagram and then the SHEroWay.com. You can stay connected with me there. And then we also do events quarterly. At first they were monthly, but we're gonna work up to that because I do want to do that. But it's the takeaway event where, you know, empowerment, community, and inspiration meet. And this year specifically is based on just collabing with women in the community that are doing the same thing, just in their unique way. And you don't have to want to be an entrepreneur or anything, just you wanting to know information. If I know something and you know something, we just all be knowledgeable and help each other grow and just be in a safe space. So I am doing that quarterly. So you can find me there. Just stay tuned. We got one coming up. You can also find me at pop-up shops. I don't have one right now on the books, but if you feel like I should be at yours, hit me up. I got you. I'll be there. But yeah, y'all can find me on social media. I am there. The SHEro Way, the SHEroWay.com. I'm there. Or if you want my personal, Tiara Nikole, and that's Nikole. The first is Tiara Nikole. If you didn't know, but yeah.
My girl says not with a C, like you regular Nicole's. I'm kidding. No, my middle name is Nicole, so that's why I said that. And it's definitely regular with a C.
It was my mama trying to be different, y'all.
But she did.
She did.
And now your name is a whole brand. Look at that. So
it is.
I'm just saying. Shout out to mom. But seriously, thank you so much for coming. I honestly, like, if you had any last words, you know, anything that you want to leave us with.
Anybody listening that you are on your journey, wherever it may be, you are enough. You don't have to, you can show up broken, like, just to let you know that God always loves you no matter where you are. You don't have to show up any other way than where you are right now. That is enough. Be authentically true to yourself. That's how you make genuine connections. I hear a lot of women say, like, well, I don't think I have a purpose. You focusing on self will guide you to whatever that purpose is. You don't have to be so in the thick of trying to figure out what everybody else is doing. Well, they're doing that, so maybe I should do this. No, you focus on you and keep God first and do all the things. You will find it. It will find you. And just stay prayed up and just kind of continue to do your thing, whatever that means for you. But I just want to encourage you to love on yourself because you are beautiful, beautifully, beautifully made. Everybody. And if we continue to spread the love all over everybody, even when somebody being nasty to you, continue to spread love. Continue to spread the love to just let them see the true light of what God is and what Jesus does. And yeah, you'll be on your way, like, better than ever. You can't let nobody steal your joy. You cannot. So yeah, be there.
Man, motivational speaker. That's what's next for you, girl. She's gonna be a motivational speaker. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Y'all already know what I'm gonna say next. If you have not subscribed at this point, again, not really sure what you've been doing the whole time. Maybe you've been so submerged in the episode that you forgot to click subscribe. So we'll give you that benefit of the doubt there. But make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I would love to have any feedback in the comments in real time, you know, as you're watching it. You can be 2 minutes in and have something to say. Drop it down below. We would love to hear from y'all. And don't forget to like and share this video. All of her links will be down below in the description box, so make sure that you check that out. And stay tuned after this episode. She's actually going to do a quick little preview of the SHEro booklet and some of her merch. But listen, you guys, all I can say is thank you for continuing to support Room 1002. If you know of any creatives or innovators in Atlanta who you think deserve an opportunity to be interviewed, y'all already know I'm an open book, so long as they align with what I'm on, okay? And that's what 2025 is about, staying true to what we believe in our own beliefs, and I'm just gonna move on from there. So thank y'all again, and until next time, peace.
What's up, y'all? I am your girl, Tiara Nikole, your very own SHEro. If you hope you enjoyed the episode. My brand is the SHEro Way. The SHEro is an almighty woman that can have everything she wants in her life by being authentically herself. So I want to share my affirmation notebook. Okay, it's 15 affirmations. Okay, it's 15 affirmations, and you also have a QR code. So I'll open the book a bit. But you have a QR code right there that you can scan. It's interactive videos of me expressing and explaining to you each affirmation. Yeah, you can also have a digital copy, but this is the physical copy, like a little workbook. And I also have my mug, the SHEro Way, and then SHEro on the side where you can drink your coffee and your tea, honey. Okay. Then we also have sticky notes and pens so you can write out all your feelings and things. Okay, write it out. And then I also have freebies and everything on the website as well. I have an affirmation guide that's free. I have a free bingo sheet for your self-care and self-love of yourself. And I also have 5 tips of positive self-talks with yourself. So it is also free things on my website. So check me out at the SHEro Way on Instagram. Check me out on the SHEroWay.com on my website. And if you want to get in with my personal, the Tiara Nikole, TiaraNikole. Come see about your girl. I love y'all already. Come see me.